Start. All right, so we are good to go. Thank you, all of you who have joined the Parent Information Night this evening. We are so excited to be coming into South Whidbey. I know our team has been talking about it for a while, so when I told them that this opportunity came up, they were super excited. I do want to say before we begin, if you don't mind, there's a link on our website, and I believe, Debbie, if you have not already, if you don't mind putting the link in the chat box,
Sure thing.
those of you who are on. And if you go in, you can register for a free registration. So whoever's on this night, and if there's only one or two or a few and you register, then you might get the free registration. So lucky if that's you. But what we will do is also maybe we'll leave it open until Friday. So for if anyone has viewed this by Friday, I'll have Debbie go ahead and pick the winning registration on Friday, if that works for you. So, great. All right. So again, thank you guys for joining. We're thrilled to be here and to be participating with you all. To kick us off this evening, we are excited to have your superintendent here and on the call. So Joe, if you'd like to say anything to kick it off, that'd be fantastic.
Well, I have heard about your program for such a long time and have talked with a lot of colleagues who have Right at Schoo in their districts. So I'm excited that we actually are going to have the opportunity to offer before and after school care for families in South Whidbey. It's been a long time coming. So I don't want to take up any of your precious time. Susie Richards, principal at the elementary, is also here to say hi to you. But Cindy, I really appreciate you and Debbie doing all this work to get the program off the ground. So hopefully we'll get lots of registrations and we'll start right up with before and after care in September. So Susie.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Moshe. I couldn't agree more. We know it's been a real issue for many families, and the Children's Center, as much as they wanted to be able to continue to offer the program, just couldn't. And they're excited for us to be launching with Right at Schoo as well. And just really so glad to have this opportunity for our kids to be right with us at school, you know, where they know and where they love before and after school, and just can't wait to see this program get off the ground. Really appreciate you, Debbie and Cindy, and all the work you've put into it. And we look forward to working with you.
Thank you. We are excited as well. Just so you guys know, my name's Cindy Lawson. I'm the Senior Director of School Partnerships with Right at Schoo. I have the privilege of working with superintendents across the country, but primarily on the western part of the United States. And I'm here with our local senior area manager, Debbie. Would you like to introduce yourself real quick, Debbie?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Debbie Herzog. I am the senior area manager in the northern part of Washington, and I am just so excited to be bringing on South Whidbey and getting a chance to work with this community. And so I look forward to meeting you soon.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize up front in case we have any presentation hiccups. You'd think by now that we're used to this virtual format, but sometimes it has a way of acting up. So if that does happen, I ask for your patience up front and out of respect for your time and trying to keep this to an hour or less. If it's okay with you, I'd like to go ahead and get through the presentation and answer any questions along the way. You know, hopefully the presentation will answer most of your questions, but if not, please go ahead and use the chat box along the way, and Debbie will go ahead and answer those questions for you. So if we're good to go, let's go ahead and get moving. So we'll first talk a little bit about tonight's topics, like who is Right at Schoo? Like, who is this group? What makes them so different? Talk about our tuition, our fees, talk about safety, curriculum, and then we'll talk a little bit about our staff, and we'll leave it open if there's any additional questions that were not answered. So first off, you know, let me tell you a little bit about Right at Schoo and how we got started. You know, our founder, CEO, Dr. Mark Rothschild, walked into his daughter's after-school program and saw her eating Doritos and watching a movie. And having his doctorate in education, he just knew he can do something better. So in 2010, he started Right at Schoo, and since then we service more than 40,000 students in over 400 schools across the United States. And just so you want to, in case you want to know who we're currently partnering with in Washington, in case you have friends or relatives in other districts, our current Washington partners are Bellevue, Renton, Bethel, Puyallup, Federal Way, Fife, Stillicum, Auburn, Deeringer, Ording, Highline, Enumclaw, Edmonds, Battleground, Ellensburg, Washougal, Franklin Pierce, Bremerton, and Peninsula, and now South Whidbey. We're really excited. So our mission at Right at Schoo is to inspire love of learning, support schools, and give parents peace of mind. And something that we're really proud of is 3 years now in a row, we've been endorsed as AASA's National After School Solution. And AASA is the National School Superintendent Association. So it's an honor we don't take lightly and something that we're really proud of. So now we're going to show you a brief video into the day in the life of Right at Schoo. And so it might take a second to load. There we go. And let's see. This works. Debbie, can you
Have
hear
you
it?
ever seen a child's eyes when the school bell rings? The endless possibilities. We're gonna do everything. It's time for after school, right at school. After school is a time for friends and community. It's a time for new opportunities to test ourselves, to try out new challenges and build confidence. It's art. It's science. It's fitness and fun. It's laughter and joy. It's a journey of discovery and learning. It's all here, right at school. When you pick us up, you don't need to ask what we did today. You can see it in our eyes. We did everything. Thanks for letting me stay right at school.
All right, that was a quick video. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what makes Right at Schoo different. I'm going to go into a little more detail in each of these areas. It's just kind of high level look is, our staff. We are nothing without our staff. Our curriculum, which is aligned to academic and state standards. So we'll talk about our disguised learning approach, our flexibility for pricing. We have options for families to come 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, and 5 days, and you can change your schedule every single month. We have discounts for siblings and anybody who's on free and reduced lunch. We also accept DSHS, which is the state subsidy for Washington, as well as Child Care Aware, which is the military subsidy. We have drop-in options, punch card options, again, trying to be accessible to as many families as possible. We have online system. Everything is done online. You can sign up online, pay online. You can change your schedule every single month online. And that is correct. I did say every single month because we have no wait lists. And so we will meet the needs of the community. And so if for some reason you don't need care or you need to change your schedule 1 month, you can change it as long as you do it the month prior. And we have a customer service team that's on hand to take your calls and answer any questions and walk you through the registration process. So first, I figure I'd talk a little bit about our pricing. Our goal is to provide flexibility and peace of mind for district employees and families by offering options for every scenario. Our plan is to host the program at South Whidbey Elementary, School North. It's South Whidbey Elementary School North Campus by the first day of school, which is, I believe, in September. So we'll be there by the first day of school, and the kids from the South Campus are going to be able to walk over to the North Campus. So that's right, Debbie, right? We're going to be on the North Campus, but children from the South Campus can walk over to the North Campus. So as you can see on this slide, we will have options for before school, 1 to 5 days, after school, 1 to 5 days, and before and after school for 1 to 5 days. So you can sign up online, you can come, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, or 5 days. And like I said, you can change your schedule. 10% discount for any military or siblings, and 20% discount for any families on free and reduced lunch. And as I had mentioned before, we would take in a subsidy through DSHS and Military Aware. So this is a little bit about our pricing and our flexibility. And I get to talk a little bit about safety. Before we hire anyone, they have to go through an extensive background check. So they can't even be hired into our system until they get cleared. So we are, constantly making sure, and we get reports if anything ever changes on a background verification. So again, that is something that we take really seriously. We also take making sure that children sign in and out, get checked in and out. We ask families that please update your emergency contacts. We understand that phone numbers might change, you might move, or grandma might be with you for a few months and then not. Please make sure that you update your emergency contacts, because we will not allow a child to go home with an adult unless they are signed in on unless they are on their emergency contact forms. So please just make sure that's updated all times, and make sure that especially the phone numbers are updated. Obviously in today's day and age, sometimes there's, situations what require lockdown. So emergency procedures. I mean, I don't know if you guys really have a lot of earthquakes or tornadoes. We don't really have a lot of that on the western part of the United States, but you never know, right? So we're constantly working with the district on emergency procedures to make sure that we're all in line, and that we are not only following them, but that we are practicing on a continual basis. And now I get to talk a little bit about our curriculum, which is my favorite part. Our focus is really on building children up. So we're here for the long game of education. So everything we do is about empowering students with those attributes that we know as educators will continue to unfold throughout their lives. We know the last thing a child wants to hear at 3 p.m. is, who wants to learn some more? Like, we've been in school all day. So every year, students get to enjoy fresh new curriculum that's been written by our curriculum experts, who are former teachers and administrators. So you can see here on this slide that we have different thematic themes, and each theme consists of 2-week thematic units that range on focus areas from art to science to music to math. And you'll see in this slide, for example, students are learning about Roman aqueducts, and they're using their design thinking as they build and test their designs that have been made out of recyclables. The big thing with Right at Schoo, we really want to ignite that spark and that joy in kids again. We know the last few years have been crazy, and they're really doing a good job at transitioning, but we just really want them to have fun. We want them, to just be kids, all while being engaged, all while they get to engage in hands-on fun and hands-on learning. So the idea being that they just think they're having a ton of fun, but what they don't know is there's actually a ton of learning going on. And that's why we call it disguised learning. Everything is really hands-on, project-based, fun learning. So again, they have no idea that there's learning going on. They just think they're having fun. So that's really our concept. And now we get to talk a little bit about our daily schedule. So once all the children are accounted for and everyone's safe and they're with us, we go into what's called our town hall. That's really our family time. It's our chance to have a conversation, talk about special events, service projects, community events that are going on, celebrations. It's also a chance for us to talk about our curriculum and what we're doing that afternoon. And oftentimes this is something that is student-led. So students, our junior educators, are leading these activities. And then we go into a self-serve snack. It's really a healthy snack that we have for kids. It's all self-serve. And then we go into right moves. That's our chance to get that excess energy out. They've been in school all day, so 10 or 15 minutes to get those wiggles out, get that excess energy out, get their blood flowing, their hearts pumping, so that they can go in and get their homework completed. It's really important that children get their homework completed and they complete it before they go home, because we know that we want them to be able to spend that quality time with their families when they get home. And there's so many other things that are going on. And then we go into our curriculum, which I just talked about. And in addition to our everyday disguised learning projects, we also have long-term projects that are called our triple play. And those are usually student thought of. Like students might sit in a program and be like, one time someone said, let's build an amusement park, right? So kids are like, whoa. And so we sit there and rally around and we talk about it, and we really sit there and think, like, what does it take to make an amusement park? There's so much that goes into it, not just getting to do the fun stuff of figuring out what rides you want. You got to find a location. What's the demographic that you're targeting? What's the price point that it's going to be? Is it going to be a family park, an adventure park? What is it going to be? And then, there's a lot of marketing behind it. And then there's a lot of design and concept. So that could take a month. And so a lot of times there's these month projects that are going on in addition to those daily activities. And then we go into a more vigorous fitness component, about 45 minutes, whether it's indoors or outdoors, depending on the weather. We always have a group game going on. So kids who want to participate are always welcome to participate in our group game. And those who just want that autonomy and just want to play and go play with their friends can also do that. Then they come in, and sometimes we'll have just a self-creation maker station out with just different stuff every day and they can just self-create, right? Or they can go read a book, or they can go hang out with their friends, or they can just play, whatever they want to do. They will have the opportunity to do that. But most of the time, the families are picking them up by that time. It's really important that we're a part of the school community. We are only as strong as our partnership. So we are entrenched in everything that goes on. All of our staff are local. We attend every event that's going on in the school and in the community. We join the PTA or PTO meetings. We provide free childcare during the PTA or the PTO meetings so families can participate. We'll pass out water at walkathons. We will do face painting at carnivals. We'll pass out awards at assemblies. And we also have, our junior educator program that are our, usually our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders who get an interview to be junior leaders. And they have to go through an application. They have to get permission from their teacher and their parent. And then they get some responsibilities. They get to go have a penny. They get like a sign in and out sheet, behavior log. There's lots of different things that make them feel independent. They help lead activities as well. So again, there's a lot that we do. We also attend board meetings because we want to find out about what strategic initiatives are happening at the board meeting and what's going on so that we can align and that we can partner with them. We are nothing without our people. So you might wonder, like, who do you hire? Where do you get your staff from? We are very fortunate that we have the highest retention in the industry. We think it has a lot to do with not only the people we hire, but our training and our pay and our performance based and our promotions. And so there's a lot, but who we look for are usually from 4 categories. If there's a current program in the area or there's a current program, sometimes there's already a program in place and those staff get the first right of refusal. We will hire those staff first. Secondly, a lot of paraprofessionals or aides in the school. We love hiring these people because they know the students and the community. So many districts, sometimes cap hours out and then they can come work with us. And, when they work with us, they get free childcare because all our employees get 100% of their childcare taken care of. Plus, we provide amazing training that they get to bring back into the classroom during the day. So it's a win-win. We also hire a lot of students who want to become teachers, who are majoring in theater or art or elementary ed and are passionate about working with kids. And if you think about it, most graduate students really coming out of college struggle mostly with classroom management and curriculum implementation. And they get to use those practicum experiences and hone those skills in our program. So it's a win-win there too. And then finally, we hire a lot of retired teachers and educators because for some reason they never retire. So with us, they get to turn that hat around. They get to be much more experiential, not just frontal, and they just get to have fun in just a different environment. So that's really the people that we hire. So if you know of anybody who's interested in working with Right at School, who have a passion for working with children, please let us know because we would love to have them and interview them. A lot of our staff, we have a blended training model. So again, once they get cleared through their background check, they go into training and they have to go into online training first. So they have to pass a series of assessments. And those assessments I think some of the topics are here, you can see here. So they have to go through a series of assessments. They watch videos, have to pass an assessment. And then once they pass that assessment, Debbie and her team will be notified of that. And then they get to go into live training. And live training is really a day in a life. It's scenario based. It's again, not me sitting here talking to you. It's much more based on what does a day look like? It could be the worst case scenario A, the best case scenario C, and then tons of them in the middle. So really trying to get them prepared to work with students on that first day of school. Will we be perfect? No, we'll never be perfect, especially the first few months as we're working through our schedules and getting to know the families and the children and the community. But I promise we are committed to providing the best opportunity and the best experience for children, but just be a little patient with us in the beginning as we're getting to know your children and the families and finding out what the culture is like. We're constantly doing coaching and development with our team, with our staff. So there's in professional development, we've actually promoted several of our current staff, so we have opportunities for them to advance. We already talked a little bit about the training and the development that staff go through. And so I think with that, we've talked a little bit about our people, our partnerships, our curriculum, and we also talked about our pricing. So with that being said, I don't know if there are any questions, Debbie, in the chat box that you've been answering, or any ones that we have not been able to answer that you want to bring up. And if anyone has any questions, please put it in the chat box. I will let you know registration is open. So if you want to go back to that link, I think Debbie, you put it in the chat box, but let me go ahead and go back to page 1, the first page. You guys can see it's right there. If you go to this link it's specific for South Whidbey. You can go ahead and check in that you were here this evening. There's an information area where you can just put your name, your information in. That will let us know that you attended. Please, we need at least 20 kids to make sure we can get it up and running this fall. So if you can please make sure you spread the word, you let families know that we're here. Registration is open. We need to know how many staff to hire. So, and I believe we have a promotion running right now, don't we? Debbie, I think if they register by June 30th, you get entered into a drawing for free childcare for
life.
life.
Yes, we have 2 more drawings. We have 2 drawings coming up. So July 31st and August 31st, where if you enroll by July 31st, you'll actually be entered into both drawings. So,
and I think is there one that ends in June as well? The end of June, end of July, end of August?
There was a May 31st.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, May 31st and then July 31st and August 31st. So, so, and then that's to be entered into free childcare for life, which is a great deal. And then I did add the link again for those who joined late. So you should see that in the chat box as well. And then we did have one question, Cindy, and it was around the snack menu. I don't actually have a link to a sample snack menu, but if you're interested, please email me directly and I'd be happy to send you out a sample snack menu. And then the question was if children could bring their own snacks as well. We typically give them time if they have lunch left over that they haven't finished and they want to finish it, that's perfectly fine. We do ask that you not send peanut products because we have allergies frequently. And so we would just want to make sure that it meets those guidelines. But if there's any other specific dietary needs your child requires, we're happy to work with you as well. And then Jen, I see your question about registration. I'll get back to you on that one. And if you wouldn't mind, you asked if we will align with the ALE program. I'm not sure what the ALE program is. I know that we will definitely be offering the early release days. We'll be there. So basically we accommodate the normal school hours. So we'll be available before and after school.
And then if we have enough demand, if we have enough demand and there's a need, we will offer on non-school days, break days, winter break, spring break, summer. Again, if there's a need in the community and the district allows us to be there, we will be there any day the district allows us to be there if there is a need. So we will work with them on making sure we can provide care on those non-school days as well. So just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware that we would be available on those non-school days as well. I think there's an additional charge if you need care on those days because not everybody needs care.
There is, yeah, the question, another question that was raised was, is there a reduced cost in December? And we actually prorate our rates throughout the school year. And so that each month, no matter how many days is in that month, it's the equal tuition. So we do take into account those non-school days when we are figuring our monthly tuition. So if you'd like to join for the break days, there's an extra fee for that.
Yeah, because some months are 5 months, some are 4. So we just kind of calculate the amount of days and that's how we come up with the monthly tuition. And so again, if there's any questions after this evening for anyone, I'm also going to post this video on our website. I believe we're going to post it on the district website. Debbie's email information is on here. Please reach out to her directly. You can also call our customer service line. Again, help us spread the word. We would really appreciate it. We're excited to be coming out to the district and be partnering with you all. And again, if you know any staff, anyone who's interested, please let us know that as well. So Debbie, are there any additional questions? Because I know you're managing the chat box that we can answer.
I think we got them all, but my email is in there as well. So if you do have any additional questions, absolutely feel free to email me directly and I'll get the answer for you.
All right, everyone, I'm going to stop the recording now.